오케이. 얘들아, 시간이 좀 지났으니까 한번 오늘 수업을 시작해 보도록 할게. 그리고 이따 디스커션하고 뭐 이런 얘기하고 같은 뭐 there's a lot of activities that require you to like talk and interact today. Today's topic is actually speaking. So I think it'd be best for everybody to turn on their cameras and their mics. 근데 혹시 뭐 이렇게 키가 불가피하다면 못 키면 like you can turn it off, but then like I think it'd be best if you guys could turn it on. Okay? 그러면 한번 수업으로 들어가 보도록 할게. 한번 클래스룸 가서 그러면 on classroom there's a we uploaded 오늘 월시트 올려놨거든 내가. 그래서 한번 그걸 열어봐주면 좋을 것 같아. 잠깐만. 얘들아 미안하다. 내가 이걸 카피를 안 해줬구나 내가. 잠깐만 다시 보내줄게 내가 이거를. Sorry guys. 오케이. 그래서 지금 copies라고 해갖고 구글 클래스룸에 있는 스트림을 업데이트하면 한번 이 다큐멘트 나올 거거든 오늘 월시트가. 그래서 그거 한번 열어봐 줬으면 좋겠어. 혹시 뭐 like could you guys tell me if it works or not? Like that'd be best. 오케이. 그러면 한번 오늘 수업을 시작해 보도록 할게. So 지난 수업들 이렇게 많이 리뷰해보고 like 너희들의 피드백도 들어보고 그랬을 때 like both Nine and I learned that like you guys were struggling over a lot of concepts because like 되게 빨리 지나간 것도 많고 되게 이렇게 테크니컬한 뭐 글쓰기에 뭐 이런 여러 가지 측면도 그렇게 가르쳤기 때문에 되게 좀 뭐랄까 어려워했던 면도 많았고 우리도 나날이 좀 그렇게 like we kind of tried to went by like day by day like 날마다 그냥 뭐랄까 그날 할 수 있는 걸 하려 했던 그게 좀 있거든 감이. 그래서 한번 둘이 we discussed a lot about like how we should try to do the next 6 lessons. 지금 반 왔잖아. 그래서 나머지 반을 어떻게 이렇게 보내면 좋을지 생각하다가 we set like 3 goals for this class. 끝나면 이게 수업이 끝나면서 너희가 이렇게 수업이 끝나면 가지고 갔으면 하는 이렇게 우리가 선생님들로서 이렇게 so we came up with 3 goals for that. Number 1 is develop the skills to express clearly and this includes both aspects of speaking and writing. 이렇게 자기 자신을 이렇게 표현하는 능력을 기르는 거. 말하는 면에서 또 글 쓰는 면에서. And today we're going to focus on the speaking aspect. And second part is continue to develop on reading skills. 지금까지 여러 가지 뭐 reading comprehension이고 뭐고 그런 걸 많이 배웠잖아. Like finding how to like identify the main idea and all. 그래서 그거에 계속 집중할 거고. And finally, like learning how to critically think and grow comfortably doing next level thinking. 더 이렇게 뭐랄까 thinking critically 더 고민하고 뭐 문제가 있으면 그거에 대해서 더 열심히 생각하고 뭐 그러는 능력을 기르는 걸 좀 도움을 주고 싶어서 얘기를 했어 모두를. And 오늘은 we're going to be learning how to like speak with the proper structure. So we're going to be going into that. So speaking with structure. And when you're always coming up with a certain argument, there's three main questions that you should always be thinking before speaking. And they are like, what is your goal? That's number one. 뭐를 이루려고 하는지, 이걸 말함으로써. Number two is, why is the goal important? And that's from the perspective that you're advocating from. 예를 들어서 비핵화를 하려고 해. 막, like, you're saying that nuclear bombs are bad. But then, 그런 걸 얘기하면, 뭐랄까, 너의 관점으로서 얘기하는 게 아니라, you'll be explaining from like a politician's point of view or something like that. So, or if you're advocating for like a Democrat, 민주당 사람들을 위해서 맞다고 얘기하려면 more than speaking from your own perspective, you're speaking from a Democrat's perspective. So, 그 goal이 이루려고 하는 goal이 왜 중요한지. And number three is how can it be achieved? 어떻게 해서 그 생각한 goal을 이렇게 like how you can make it come into life. 어떻게 이게 사실이 될 수 있도록 할 수 있는지. So those are the three main questions that you should always think of when you're trying to speak or when you're trying to come up with argument. When you're trying to come up with a 주장, that's, I think, the three essential questions that you should always think about. So 그래서 이걸 하고 나서, and then, I think for now, we're going to move on to a activity, and it's called Why I Need a New Phone. And 오늘 like, you're going to be learning how to do ethos, pathos, logos. 그러면서 add-on 이 example을 같이 하면서 배울 생각인데, so I'm guessing that 여기서 막 핸드폰을 새로 사고 싶은 사람이 많을 거라고 생각해 내가. Is that right? And I felt like a lot of people could relate to that, so that's why I came up with this activity. So the preface is that you've been using your phone for quite a bit now. However, as you see your friends and acquaintances buy newer and better phones, you've started to question your satisfaction with your current phone. After a couple days thinking, you've decided that you want a new phone. Considering that you don't have the money to buy one, you've decided to convince your parents to buy you one. However, they need a good reason to believe that they're spending money on something that is actually beneficial. So now, why do you really need a new phone? 그리고 이게 현재 핸드폰을 갖고 있지만 마음에 안 들고 you have to convince your parents that why you need a new phone. 그래서 그런 액티비티 한번 해볼 건데, as you write this, I want all of you to, like, as you think of this, I want all of you to think from your own perspective. like, 이 example에서 누가 폰을 니드하는 게 아니라 너가 이 사람이다 라고 생각하고, 자신이 이 사람이다 생각하고, 너의 관점에서 like, we want you to add details that are relevant to your situation and then, yeah, write from your own perspective. 근데 혹시 you could be satisfied with the phone you have right now, but then if that's the case, 지금 있는 핸드폰이 마음에 들거나 그렇다면, like, you can think that you're gonna 그 핸드폰을 똑같은 걸 쓰고 똑같은 거 한 2년 더 쓴다고 생각해봐. 그렇게 생각해도 되고, or you can think about your last phone. 그렇게 생각해도 되고. 그래서 한번 아마 얘기할 게 많을 거라고 생각하는데, 한번 이 토픽에 대해서 이 three questions를 생각해보고 한번 여기 적어봤으면 해. 자기 자신의 생각들을. And like in the past, I've noticed that you guys don't always like write as you guys go along with your things. But then I think as you go up grades, like, it's really important to write down your thoughts because then you can look back at it. So 한 2, 3분 정도 줄 것 같으니까 여기 왜 나였으면 왜 새로운 핸드폰이 필요한지 한번 생각해보고, 특히 이 세 가지 문제들을 like ask yourselves these questions and yeah, write about them. Okay. So, 자신의 관점에서 우리 부모님들한테 like 자기가 새로운 핸드폰이 필요하다고 생각하면서 try to like yeah think of these three questions and yeah like write down as you think. 자신의 관점에서. You can add your like you can add details about your own situation. 자기의 뭐 처해 있는 상황에 대해서 뭐 you can even talk about like a specific phone you want. 자기가 원하는 핸드폰에 대해서 얘기해도 되고 뭐 아니면 뭐 내가 핸드폰을 망가뜨렸다. 뭐 내게 지금 뭐 어떻다. 아니면 나는 왜 필요하다. 이런 거를 디테일을 아다 해주면 되게 좋지. 이걸 쓰면서. Okay, then I think that's enough, and I think I'll be moving it to 9.
So we just looked at the 3 main questions that you have to answer when you're writing or speaking. And we give these questions because 이거를 쓸수록 너네가 더 it helps you to create a more effective argument in a sense with more structure so that the people who are listening to can understand what you're trying to say instead of it being very like 흐지부지하게 우물쭈물하다가 말이 끝나는 게 아니라 말할 때 그에 딱 의미가 담긴 게 있고 그걸 듣는 사람이 알아들을 수 있게 우리가 3 question들을 방금 봤는데 이게 이제 우리가 자 보자. 이게 지금 우리가 2주 전, 1주 전에 배운 5 paragraph essay랑 연결이 돼. 이제 우리가 그때 조금 한꺼번에 5 paragraph essay를 확 많이 가르쳤는데 그 막 중간중간에 나왔던 팁들을 다 빼고서도 여기 써있는 것처럼 writing and speaking come hand in hand. Everything you ever say, including an explanation on why you should get a new phone, will likely involve at least a loose form of the 5 paragraph essay structure. 그러니까 내가 배웠던 그 structure 중에서 introduction and then your 3 main points and then your conclusion. 이 5가지는 speaking이든 writing이든 여전히 존재한다는 거지. 그리고 이 포맷을 따라갈수록 조금 더 이제 정리가 된 argument를 할 수 있는 장점이 있어. 그래서 이게 완전히 따로 써서 이제 writing 할 때만 쓰는 게 아니라 you can use the same structure moved over when you speak so that you're speaking more coherently and with more structure. 근데 if we did before you start your argument, so now that we've looked at the fact that it is almost the same structure as your 5 paragraph essay, 이제 너네가 약간 방금 free write 하는 것처럼 여기 3 main questions, you guys answered the 3 main questions. What is your goal? Why is it important? And how can it be achieved? So now that you've digested a kind of 5 paragraph essay, I want you to write a sort of outline for an essay almost. Like we had you guys write an outline for your Can Money Buy Happiness essay. 그치? 그러면 이제 비슷하게 just write 1 or 2 sentences that will sum up the reasoning that you're going to give. 3 points that would make your body paragraphs of your argument. 여기다가 이제 조금 써줬으면 좋겠어. 21분 되면 이제 we're gonna move on to our next topic. 21분이 됐네. 자, 그러면은 이제 대충 you guys have probably written down 3 main reasons that you guys have been reflecting on after looking at 3 questions that we posed for you guys. Your goal, why it's important, and how you're going to achieve it, right? So now you've come up with kind of 3 reasonings or proofs that you can use to convince your parents to buy you a new phone. 그럼 이제 이거를 3개 이제 reasoning이 있는데 reasoning만 가지고는 you can't make a strong argument with just solid reasoning. Even if your reasoning is very solid, there are other elements that kind of play into that. So we're going to go over something called, it says, before you start your argument, you want to make sure you're equipped with the necessary tools to make a successful argument. So we're going to go over these 3 things called ethos, pathos, and logos. Now, it doesn't sound that familiar, and it probably shouldn't because you will learn this later on, but 지금 배워두면 이제 도움이 되니까. Ethos, pathos, logos are 3 aspects of speaking and writing that can help you make a successful argument if used well. So there are these elements that go into your speaking that can make it more effective if you know how to use it. 너네 평소에도 아마 ethos, pathos, logos를 생각하지 않으면서 썼을 수도 있어. 모든 사람이 자기 의견을 내세울 때 이 3개를 어떻게 보면 이제 아무 생각 없이 무의식 중에 쓰게 되는 경우가 많은데 이거를 우리가 알고 쓰는 거랑 모르고 쓰는 거랑 다르잖아. 그렇기 때문에 알고 쓰면은 훨씬 더 효율적으로 너네가 설명을 할 수 있는 거지. 자, 그러면은 let's look at ethos. So ethos is the ethical appeal. It means to convince an audience of the author's credibility or character. So like I wrote here, ethos shows that you're trustworthy. Your argument is most likely to be successful when the audience is convinced of your credibility. So ethos is the thing that makes your audience trust you. 너가 얘기를 하는데 if you share certain elements of your character that provide that you are ethically trustworthy, 너가 인성이 좋아. 아니면 그런 걸 보여줄 수 있으면 사람들이 널 믿을 수 있고 아니면 너가 어떤 분야에서 전문가야. 이런 걸 보여주면 또 사람들의 신뢰가 너한테 가기 때문에 나한테 신뢰가 오면은 내가 하는 말을 사람들이 더 귀담아 듣고 they're gonna listen. My argument can be more successful when they trust that I have something worthy and trustworthy to say to them. So that is the ethos that plays into it. It plays into the fact that you are not like a fake, basically. You're not a counterfeit and you're not someone who's trying to just scam them. So how can you develop ethos? How can you show that you are a trustworthy person? I mean, you can think personally, oh, I'm a trustworthy person. People should believe me, right? 근데 just because you think that doesn't mean that the other person who is listening to you will think that you're trustworthy. So you have to be able to show, in a sense, that you are trustworthy. So how to speak using appropriate language. Use vocabulary that is appropriate for the situation. This differs from situation to situation. 설명을 할 때 예를 들어서 선생님이랑 말하는 거랑 엄마한테 얘기하는 거랑은 내가 쓰는 vocabulary, the language you speak, the way you say it, the tone you use is going to be very different. And using the vocabulary that is appropriate in a situation will show that you are trustworthy, right? The second thing is you can sound unbiased. If you sound very biased to one side, people will be less likely to trust you because they think that your judgment is not clear enough because you are clearly taking one side very strongly. So if you sound very neutral and you are considering both sides, if you show that you're considering both sides of the argument and you're not just sticking to one side out of like emotion or something like that, then people will be more likely to trust your argument because they think that you are impartial in a sense, you are fair. The third thing is introduce accomplishments or titles that prove your credibility. 우리가 여기 웹사이트를 달아놨거든. 그래서 웹사이트 나중에 보면 이제 들어가면 볼 텐데 사실 공식적인 석상에서는 가끔씩 이제 공식적인 석상에서 얘기를 할 때는 누군가가 올라오기 전에 그 사람의 이제 title, accomplishment 이런 걸 다 보여줘. 그 사람이 얘기를 하기 전에. For example, this person won these awards in this contest, or they won like these awards in this area. So it shows that they have skill and they are an expert in what they are talking about. So that provides the credibility. if somebody's not going to do that for you, then you can say that yourself without trying to be too like tapok, but like still kind of like subtly introduce it. Like you want to make sure that you sound like you know what you're talking about, because if you don't know, then people can't trust what you're saying, right? So 그런 거를 이제 써서 내 credibility를, you can raise your credibility so that your argument can be more successful. 자, 그럼 두 번째를 보자. 두 번째가 이제 the second is your pathos, or the emotional appeal. It means to persuade an audience by appealing to their emotions. So pathos is something that provokes the audience's emotion. You can, whatever emotion that you're generating from them, pity, anger, sadness, sympathy, all these emotions, if you can make them feel the way that you are feeling, then they're more likely to agree with you and support your argument. It's because you guys are feeling these same emotions in a sense. And an emotional audience is more likely to sympathize with your cause, what you are trying to advocate for, what you are trying to argue. If your audience is in the same emotional range as you are, then they're more likely to agree with you. So you can use emotion in a sense as a tool to kind of make your argument stand out more and be taken more, like be taken better by the audience. So how to? You can use an emotional tone. So it, like, even when you're speaking, for example, if you use pathos the wrong way and you use a very angry tone when you're speaking about something that you want somebody to sympathize with, then that would be using pathos the wrong way. But if you speak in a very calm manner because you're talking about something that is very like sad or it's upsetting, then that will most likely have your audience resonate with you more than if you were speaking in a tone that is not appropriate to the emotion you are trying to evoke. You can use emotional language, so you can use vocabulary. 단어 선택 같은 것 중에서도 단어를 굉장히 이제 emotional한 vocabulary를 선택을 해서 쓰는 거지. Like really descriptively emotional words, descriptively emotional sentences that evoke people's emotions when you say them. And 세 번째는, you can engage the audience with emotional examples or stories. So sometimes people will talk about like something that happened in their past or something that they've experienced where it's like a kind of shared experience by all people, where everyone has been in a similar situation, and that kind of thing can evoke sympathy or evoke sadness, that kind of thing, because everybody has been in that situation before. And by using this situation, even if it's a situation that somebody hasn't been in before, if you can show that you were sad in this situation, you were angry in this situation, and you can deliver it well enough that people will agree with you, then that can be used for you in a sense. So that would be pathos. Your final one is something that we've been using a lot. 우리가 지금까지 5-paragraph essay 쓰고 하면서 이미 많이 너네가 이제 알진 못해도 이제 써왔던 건데, it's logos, which is your appeal to logic. So what you guys have been doing, you have your 3 points that logically support your argument, that say that because of this, this, and this, and because we learned in-text citations for the same thing, for the same reason, because when you cite facts or statistics, people are more likely to believe you. It kind of adds to your credibility, which kind of links with the other ones, but you are still using your logic and you are using the fact that you are getting your resources from facts and not just things that you're making up. And it's just, your logic makes sense, people will believe you. So that was a lot to digest, I think, but those are the 3 tools that we kind of are going over. Does anybody have questions so far concerning ethos, pathos, and logos? 없으면은 이 다음 부분을 하실 건데, 이제 다시 내려와서 we're going back to the new phone situation where you just learned about ethos, pathos, and logos, and now you can kind of strategize in a sense And because now you know the tools that you have when you are speaking, here is your kind of planning sheet where you plan how you're going to use each of these elements to make your argument on why you need a new phone. So 35분까지 너네가 이제 ethos, pathos, logos 하면서 어느 거를 어떻게 쓸 건지를 이제 여기다가 이제 적어줬으면 좋겠어. 그러면 35분 됐으니까 you guys have probably written a little bit about what kind of tools you'll be using in your argument. So now I'm going to pass it to Ricky and he's going to go over an example with you guys.
오케이. 그래서 after 내가 사실 너네한테 after I made this worksheet, I actually made my I did the same thing that you guys did. Like I answered those questions and I tried to make a presentation that like 정리해서 한번 presentation 만들려고 해봤어 내가. It answers the three questions. 세 가지 뭐 중요한 질문들, arguments를 만들 때 그걸 답하고 또 I also gave out the 3 points and then 어떻게 하면 이토스 파토스 로고스를 써갖고 그 3 point를 argue할 수 있는지. Because those 3 points are the techniques that you would use to argue, as I said. Like 그래서 그걸 한번 어떻게 하면 좋은지 example을 보여주려고 I made a presentation on why I should get a new phone. 한번 보여줄게. First, I tried to answer the 3 questions. And question 1, what is the goal? And I answered it as, I'm trying to get a new phone because I am not satisfied with the old phone I currently have. 이거는 이미 문제에 주어져 있던 점이지. 그래서 뭐, first question은 되게 general한 거야. 그래서 like, if you're doing like, when you're arguing, you always have to ask this question. Like, for example, let's say that you're talking about like denuclearization. Denuclearization is 비핵화. It's talking about like how 나라들이 뭐 핵을 많이 갖고 있잖아. 근데 막 핵을 없애야 된다는 주장이야. 근데 예를 들어서 if you're arguing for this, what would be the goal? And if you think about it, the goal would be to achieve peace in the world. 뭐 예를 들어서 핸드폰에 대해서 얘기할 때는 like your goal might be getting a new phone. Like it's pretty obvious, but then 좀 더 여러 가지 이렇게 토픽을 생각할수록 좀 더 깊은 그런 골이 있을 수도 있어. 내가 뭐 비핵화에는 뭐 평화를 가져오기 위한 목표가 있다는 것처럼 얘기했듯이. And question 2 is why is this goal important? And this is where you go really, really specific. 그 상황에 대해서 like I talked about it is important for me to get a new phone because I'm in 12th grade and I have to be productive even when I'm outside of my house. 집 밖에서도 이렇게 생산성이 있어야 된다 나는. My current phone is too slow and it has a problem where it turns off suddenly. I have to be writing documents, sending and checking emails, and texting people constantly. But with my current phone, this is impossible. 이게 내가 사실 진짜로 나한테 있었던 상황이거든. And like the reason I wrote this is it's really important for you to like really go in depth why this goal is important for you. 딱 자기가 얘기하면서 자기가 뭘 주장할 때 왜 이 골이 정말 중요한지 이렇게 자세하게 이렇게 하나하나 나열해 가면서 생각할 필요가 있어. 그리고 이걸 생각하면서 쓰면 더욱더 좋지. Like it's really important to write as you think because 뭐 어떤 기발한 생각이 있었는데 그걸 쓰지 않고 지나쳤으면 나중에 그걸 찾을 수가 없어 다시. 에세이 쓸 때도 그래서 항상 like it's always better to make like a whole new doc to write a new essay and like 항상 생각하는 걸 적는 습관이 중요하고 또 뭐 쓴 거 있으면 안 지우고 그러는 게 되게 중요해. 나중에 꼭 필요할 수도 있기 때문이지. So I also experienced a lot of this during my English class as well. Third question is how can it be achieved? And this also gets in really specific. The phone I currently want costs like something baht and I currently do not have that money. Therefore, I have to convince my parents to help me pay half of its price. 내가 이 핸드폰을 사려면 가격이 이 정도인데 내가 돈이 없어 그만큼. 그러려면 부모님한테 이만큼 내달라고 설득을 해야 되겠지. 그러면 지금 이 퀘션들 3개를 얘기했잖아. 그래서 like 답을 나열해 봤는데 그러면 이거를 기반해 갖고 나중에 point when you come up with the points, you should always like keep in mind of the answers that you gave to these 3 questions and write as you go along. 그래서 내가 한번 보여줄게. 어떻게 했는지. 3 points. Point 1, I need a new phone because I have to stay productive. 아까 main questions에서 봤듯이 왜 이 goal이 important한 거지? 왜 이 goal이 important 하냐지? So this is pretty much why a new phone is important for me. So that's what I'm talking about. And point 2, my parents should help me pay for my phone because I am credible with money. 이렇게 돈을 다룰 때 내가 이렇게 믿음직스럽기 때문에 핸드폰을 살 때 이렇게 부모님이 좀 도와줬으면 한다. 그거는 이렇게 question 3를 생각하면서 나온 거지. And then the final one is like I need a new phone because I want to get started taking photos as a hobby. So I think as we go on to the 3 points, like more specifically, 자세히 3포인트를 설명할 때 여기서는 이도스, 파토스, 로고스 어떻게 사용하는지 보여줄게. Point 1. I need a new phone because I've stayed productive. Like one of the evidences, when you're always talking about like a certain point, you need evidences to back it up. 저번에 에세이 얘기할 때도 얘기했고, like generally, like 라인이가 얘기했듯이, even if it's really logically sound, 이게 말이 되더라도 이거는 이렇다. 왜냐면 A is B because it's A and B. A is B because it's A is B. That's not a logical like argument because that itself does not prove anything. So you need evidences to back it up. 보여줄게. I'm a high school student, so I need to always keep in check of the emails that I'm getting. And when people are texting me, like, when people are texting me, but the phone I have is too slow, so I can't really reply back to them. That is logos. Like, it's a really logical, sound reason why you need a real phone. You need a new phone. And another evidence is that my teacher has been angry at me for not replying to an urgent email. But my phone had actually turned itself off and I got in a really, really big trouble. So this is pathos. 어떻게 보면 감성팔이지 조금 막. 내가 like 엄마 아빠 내가 혼났어요. 내가 선생님한테. 그래서 like 내가 중요한 걸 해야 되는데 혼났어요. 그래서 you're trying to appeal with emotions why you need a new phone. And reason 3 is like I love listening to audiobooks outside, but the phone I have right now like turns off every 30 minutes, so I can't really do that. So like that's another example of logos. It's like a logical sound example of why you really need a new phone. So we'll be moving on to point 2. Point 2, my parents should help me pay for my phone because I am credible with money. Point 2 is 나같이 like 내가 money에 대해서 credible 하다 했잖아. So that already like shouts out that this is going to be ethos. So 한번 볼게. When my parents promised me to buy a Kindle if I was to pay off the money later, I did not drink Coke for 3 months to save up and I paid off the money I borrowed from them. You're talking about the past instance. 예전에 있던 일을 이용해서 자기가 이렇게 돈을 빌려주면 무조건 갚는 성격이다. 그런 걸 보여주는 거지. So it talks about your credibility. 내가 얼마나 믿음직스러운지 돈에 대해서는 그런 걸 어필하는 거지. That's the evidence to back this point up. So that's why 부모님이 핸드폰을 사는 걸 도와줘야 된다. 그런 얘기지. And the second evidence is like when we went on a family trip, I was in charge of comparing which vacation package we should choose. And we were able to have a great time without spending much. So I believe that the phone I chose is best for its price and my needs. 이것도 it's about credibility. 내가 예전에 가족여행을 갔을 때 가격을 비교하면서 어느 곳을 갈지 내가 결정하는 일을 맡았어. 그때 여행을 갔을 때 되게 재밌게 잘 놀았고 we had a really fun time and then we didn't spend that much. So that talks about how credible you are because like 그래서 얼마나 이걸 믿고 잘 맡길 수 있는지 잘 설명해주고 it kind of proves why kind of like supports that the phone you chose is the best for its price because you have past experience spending money properly. And then finally moving on to the third point, I need a new phone because I want to get started taking photos as a hobby. So I want to study graphics design when I grow up and knowing how to take photos is a huge part of it. A real camera is too expensive, so I want a phone with a good camera so that I will be able to work towards my dreams. 이것도 파토스야. 이렇게 뭐 꿈을 위해서 나아가기 위해서 새 폰이 필요하다. 지금 감성적으로 되게 어필하는 거지. 그리고 with my current phone, it's almost impossible to have my photos and videos on focus. 뭐 초점 맞추기가 힘들다. So it's unusable for that purpose. It's a really logical sound example that supports point 3. 그래서 that's the aspect of logos. 그래서 이거를 나중에 보내줄 테니까 한번 봤으면 좋겠어 나중에. Okay. 네.
Okay, so let's look back at our worksheet. So 너네가 방금 성현이가 이제 he went over his own example of why he would have such and such reasons for why he needs a new phone, and he explained how he used ethos, pathos, and logos in his argument, and so on and so forth. And he used the 3 points like we would for a 5-paragraph essay. He added his points, and he kind of had this general, very wrapped up argument. So 방금 성현이 걸 들은 이제 너네가 들었으니까 this last blank over here we're going to write where you guys create a sort of outline for your argument, like you did for your essay, and except you kind of wrap everything up in the same way that Ricky did. You would wrap all this up and kind of have it make sense. 너가 봤을 때도 내가 봤을 때도 이게 말이 되게 약간 wrap-up하고 내가 딱 봤을 때 이것만 보고 your outline should be good enough so that if you had just this piece of paper, you'd be able to make a successful argument by looking off of it, in a sense. So 그거를 한번 이제 42분까지 써볼게.
52분?
아, 52분. 42분에 52분. 52분이 이제 됐으니까 I trust that you guys had some time to kind of write a basic outline for your argument using the things that we've talked about so far. 5-paragraph essays, structure, the ethos, pathos, logos 이런 걸 쓰면서 이제 다 써보는 이제 경험을 해봤으니까 before we go on to our next activity, does anybody want to present why they think they should be able to buy a new phone? 오케이, 그럼 없으면 다음 거 넘어가고 어차피 다음 거는 너네가 하고 싶지 않아도 다 한 명씩 다 해야 되기 때문에 괜찮아. 그리고 이번 거를 우리가 이제 다음 거 넘어가기 전에 방금 한 게 약간 베이스가 돼서 우리 다음 액티비티로 넘어갈 건데 다음 액티비티는 너네가 이제 여기 밑에 보면은 it's an activity called My Pet Peeve. So in this activity, you'll be writing and orally presenting during class a short speech on the topic My Pet Peeve. So before we start, does anybody have questions on everything that we just went over today? 오늘 한 것 중에 나는 이해가 아직 안 되거나 조금 궁금한 부분들이 있다는 사람? 지금 now is your time to ask. 예지?
Oh, I still don't really get about ethos.
이토스가 자 우리가 한번 다시 그럼 이토스를 리뷰를 하자. 아까 얘기했듯이 이토스가 ethical appeal이라고 했어. 그게 어떻게 보면은 내가 믿을 만한 사람이라는 거를 상대방한테 증명을 해주는 거지. 내가 믿을 만한 사람이어야지 내가 할 말이 다 믿을 만한 말이 되는 거기 때문에 내가 어떤 분야에 대해 얘기하면 내가 그 분야에서 전문가다. 예를 들어서 그런 식으로 증명을 하든지 아니면은 내가 인성이 바라서 내가 하는 모든 말들이 다 가짜가 아니고 사실이다. 이런 식으로 내가 얼마나 이제 믿을 만한 사람인지를 보여주는 게 이토스야. 그럼 예를 들어서 아까 성현이가 아까 자기가 쓴 Why I should get a new phone을 이제 he presented it to us. 그럼 아까 봤을 때 성현이가 쓴 이토스는 자기가 돈을 잘 활용할 줄 안다는 거를 보여줘야 되잖아. 그렇기 때문에 성현이 아까 보여줬어. 우리가 가족여행 갔을 때 돈을 가족이 나한테 맡겼는데 내가 그 돈을 다 꼼꼼하게 챙겼다. 그거를 보여주면서 부모님한테 자기가 믿을 만한 사람이다. 내가 나는 돈을 잘 쓰고 잘 관리할 줄 아는 사람이다를 증명을 했던 거지. 그런 식으로 이토스는 물론 내가 하는 말이 믿을 만한 말이라는 것도 증명을 하는 거고 또 동시에 내가 하는 행동이나 이런 게 뭐 과거에 있었던 경험이나 그런 거를 보여줌으로써 나는 이런 분야의 경험이 있고 이 경험이 있었을 때 나는 잘 했기 때문에 앞으로도 잘 할 수 있다. 이런 식으로 쓰던지 해서 ethos는 the author's credibility or character. 나의 인성이나 나의 어떤 그 신뢰? 내가 신뢰를 걸 수 있는 사람이다라는 걸 보여주는 게 ethos야. 혹시 조금 도움이 됐으려나?
Yes,
오케이.
thank you.
You're welcome. 자, 그러면은 혹시 딴 사람? 난 질문이 있다. 그리고 지금 내가 다 보지 못하기 때문에 if you have a question, it would be great if you can turn on your mic and say that you have a question rather than raising your hand at this point.
Is the order important?
The order of what kind of order are we talking about? The questions or the ethos, pathos, logos?
The three main questions.
3 main questions. I would say that it is better for you to start with question number 1 and then move on to 2 and 3 because one kind of answers the basis that you need in order for you to answer number 2 and 3. Because number 1 is asking you what your goal is. And number 2 asks, why is your goal important, right? But you can't answer number 2 if you don't know what the answer to number 1 is. So if you don't know your goal, then you can't explain really why it's important. So if I were you, I would probably use the questions in the order that we gave from 1 to 3. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay, any more questions so far on what we have reviewed today? 없으면은 we're going to go on to our activity that we're going to do today. This one, unfortunately, because today's discussion and talking was about speaking, 이제 너네가 스피킹을 할 차례가 왔어. 안타깝지만 다 스피킹을 해야 돼, 한 명씩. This is not volunteer, everybody has to speak because we want everybody to have an equal chance to practice their speaking. But don't worry, it's not going to be like super long. You don't have to have like a super long speech that you're going to give. This can kind of be a structured rant if you want, because we're talking about something that should, I think, be semi-important to you. So 오늘 우리가 얘기할 거는 my pet peeve라는 걸 얘기할 건데, 여기서 pet peeve가 혹시 모르는 사람이 있으면은 pet peeve는 그런 거야. 개인적으로 내가 되게 짜증이 나거나 별로 안 좋아하는 거. For example, 물론 사실은 아니지만 나는 아니면 이렇게 예를 들어서 우리 엄마는 나를 봤을 때 내가 다리를 많이 떠는 경우가 있어. 그럼 우리 엄마는 내가 다리를 떠는 걸 봤을 때 그게 너무 싫어, 엄마는. So for her, her pet peeve would be me like shaking my leg. For her, that's her pet peeve. So everybody has a pet peeve where if somebody does something that annoys you very much, in a sense, I think that everybody has at least one. Even if it's very, very small, you probably have a pet peeve where somebody does something and even if you don't say it, you're just like, don't do that. That is a pet peeve. So hopefully that cleared up our definition of pet peeve. So we're going to give you 3 minutes to collect/write your thoughts using the different kind of tools that we've given you: ethos, pathos, logos, your 3 main questions, and the 5-paragraph essay format is the intro, your 3 points, and like a conclusion maybe. So with these tools, we'll give you 3 minutes to write like a free write kind of on what you're going to say, and you're going to write down why a certain action annoys you. Well, first you have to define what it is that annoys you, and you have to give 3 reasons why that annoys you. So we're going to do that, and then 한 명씩 얘기를 해보도록 할 거야. We're going to make it very short so that it's not like pain and torture for you guys. Your rant or your speech does not have to be long. It can be like a minute and 30 seconds. As long as it contains points that we can understand, then that is okay. 그럼 지금부터 3분 조금 짧으니까 8시 5분까지 시간을 줄게. 그 다음에 한 명씩 얘기를 하도록 하자. 8시 5분이 됐는데 시간이 조금 더 필요할 것 같아서 8시 10분까지 시간을 늘리도록 할게. We'll give you 5 more minutes to finish writing your outline or your free write for that one. 그러면 이제 8시 10분이 됐으니까 엄청난 발표를 안 해도 되니까 1분, 1분 30초 이렇게 컷해서 얘기를 해도 되고 이번 거는 선생님이 카메라 켜는 거를 필수로 하지 않을게. 왜냐면 I want you guys to be able to focus on speaking more. So if turning off the camera and just having your voice on helps you to focus more on speaking and your actual argument itself, then I think that's probably a choice that would be better for you. So if you want to have your camera on, you're welcome to do that as well, but I'm not going to require it for this one. 그러면은 선생님한테 보이는 순서부터 한 명씩 부를게. 그럼 유겸이부터 한번 해볼까?
완전히 준비가
오케이. 그러면은 아직 준비가 안 된 친구들도 있으니까 혹시 나는 대충 틀을 이미 잡았다 하는 친구. 없으면 선생님부터 한번 발표를 해볼게. 그럼 너네가 내 example 보고 나랑 뭐 비슷하게 하든지 아니면 또 다른 걸 따라서 하든지 상관이 없어요. It doesn't have to be super elaborate. The questions and the tools we gave you help you to maybe reflect on how you would speak. But I don't think that right now in this situation you have to implement all of those because it's kind of hard to implement all of that into like a short kind of speech that we're doing. So I'll start. My pet peeve is when people use nails, their fingernails, or they use like pointy tools to scratch on chalkboard. And the reason it is my pet peeve is because one, it sounds so bad and I'm very sensitive to hearing types of things because I am a music student. I've done a lot of like choral activity kind of things. And because of that, I'm very sensitive to what I hear, and listening to that makes me very irritated. That's one reason why that is such a big pet peeve for me. Number two is that I can see that it is kind of destroying the chalkboard when you're scratching on it. Even besides the sound, when you look at it, I can see that the chalkboard is being kind of destroyed when you scratch it. And that just really annoys me because I think that it's important that you take care of the materials that you're given. Number three is that I hate the feeling that I get. I've tried scratching on chalkboard with my fingers before, and when I do that, I hate the feeling that I get. It makes me it makes like my bones shudder. So that's why even when I see other people doing that, it makes me very annoyed as well. So that is why I give you three reasons and a little bit of ethos. I'm a choir student, that kind of thing. So there was my argument on why people scratching on a chalkboard is my pet peeve. 생각만 해도 살짝 소름이 끼쳐서 말을 제대로 못하겠어. 너무 싫어. 자, 그러면은 선생님이 이제 example로 보여주니까 I hope that made it a little bit less daunting for you guys to talk. It doesn't have to be like super elaborate. And I did manage to use a little bit of ethos and maybe a little bit of pathos in there. And I used logos by giving 3 reasons. I used my pathos saying that it makes me angry, it makes me irritated, and people who also similarly don't like it will probably sympathize with me. I gave my ethos saying I'm a choir student, I'm sensitive to what I hear, and that was one of my reasons when I said that. So I proved my credibility in a sense to you guys. So that was my thing. So 자, 이거를 이제 들었으니까 조금 이제 부담이 덜 되기를 바라는 마음으로 나는 발표를 할 준비가 됐다 하는 사람. 자원하는 사람이 없으면은 한 명씩 뽑아서 가도록 할게. 잘해도 되지 않고 너네가 이제 조금 어영부영해도 처음이니까 그럴 수 있다고 생각해. The point of this class is that we develop this, not that you guys start out perfectly, but that even if it's not perfect in the beginning, that we kind of work on it so that it becomes something. The whole point is not that it's not even that at the end of this 6 weeks, this is going to be, you guys are going to be perfect at speaking and writing English. It's that you will have made at least a little bit of progress from where you were before the class. So keep that in mind as we are speaking. So 그러면은 한번 혹시 유겸이 아까 준비됐니?
네,
준비됐어?
I think so. Yeah.
오케이. 그러면 유겸이부터 마음 편하게 가지고 한번 얘기를 해보자. What is your pet peeve and why does it annoy you?
My pet peeve is when people act differently, not just between friends, but generally others, like family.
Hmm?
I notice quite a lot of them around me, and it just reminds me of how like plastic humans can be, especially women.
Mhm.
I'm sure everyone agrees at some point because nobody likes being compared or treated fake.
Mm.
I'm also saying this from personal experience among different friend groups at my previous school, not Grace, and it was never a good thing to witness that kind of behavior shown to other students and to myself as well. Some are trying too hard to fit in with literally every person that they don't know it's obvious. Like, from my personal view, I get entirely disgusted on how people could get so desperate, or like when they give unnecessary efforts to put in others' minds of the like good impressions or thoughts about them.
Mhm.
And that's basically why I really don't like people who act differently among others.
Okay, very good. So you can see 유겸이가 방금 she gave her kind of ethos providing her status as a student so that people can understand more where she's coming from, and that kind of led to her pathos where she's talking about certain situations that a lot of people have been in, and it provides this kind of emotional relativity that where we can all relate to the situation. Oh, if you've been in the situation, then you'll understand this kind of emotional thing, like, oh, it makes you angry, it makes you disgusted, like you said, made good use of emotional language. 그런 거를 보고, 그리고 마지막으로 use their logos by providing several reasons. Oh, they're trying to fit in with everyone, and even though it's not possible, they act differently around certain people, and that's the kind of thing that disgusts her. So that was very, very good. 자, 그러면 다음을 예승이가 한번 얘기를 해볼까?
선생님, 근데 저 2개밖에 없어가지고 유진이.
괜찮아?
책까지
2개도 괜찮아.
Okay, so my pet peeve is when people don't show up on time.
Mhm.
So the first reason is because there's times where people have to be at a specific place at a specific time, and then if you're late, you miss it. So for example, like a bus, like when I go to school, a friend of mine was like asking me if I could go with if he could come with me. I waited for him for like 3 minutes. We missed the bus, we're late to school, so that sort of gets me frustrated.
Mhm.
And the second reason is if one person is late to maybe an event, and then the whole community has to wait for them, then the whole daily schedule is like delayed.
Mm.
And that also like affects the whole community, and like things end later and people could get more frustrated.
Mhm.
Yep, that's it.
Very good. So you made use of your reasoning. You gave 2 reasons. One, you miss things. It can affect a lot of people, not just the person that was late. And you also used good pathos in there. It makes you frustrated when because somebody is late, you have to miss something, or your schedule is kind of delayed, that kind of thing. and you also brought in the community, showing where you're coming from, and that kind of added to your ethos, if not much, but still added to your ethos, showing that you are coming from perspective where a lot of people are affected. So very, very good. 자, 그러면은 예승이랑 유경이 발표했으니까 이번에 지원이가 발표해볼까?
네.
오케이.
My pet peeve is when people chew with their mouths open. Firstly, it is unhygienic because like the food that the person is chewing is more likely to come out than the person who chews with their mouths closed. And it is visually and orally, like 시각적 and 청각적으로 disturbing. It can make you lose your appetite as you could see the food in their mouth. Like you could see, like you could hear the noise, like the chop chop. Yeah. And finally, it feels like that person like doesn't have any respect for you and doesn't care for you.
Very good. You used well-made logic. You gave 3 reasons why it disturbs you. And you also provided kind of your pathos. So you used your logos, you used your pathos, saying these different things affect me because, and they make me kind of frustrated, make me disgusted because it's just disturbing to look at, or so on and so forth. So very, very good presentation. 자, 선생님 지금 시간이 우리가 이제 9분 있으면 끝나기 때문에 조금 이제 페이스를 높여서 갈게. 도경이 발표해볼까?
선생님, 도경이 마이크가 안 된다는데요.
아, 그래? 방금 된다고 들었는데? 아니, 그러면 도경이 안 되면은 지금 예승이 했고 유겸이 했고 지원이 했으니까 예지 한번 해볼까?
My pet peeve is when I hear someone talk back rudely or talk in a disrespectful manner to teachers or elders or other people around them. I find it very rude because it's very to talk back in like an attitude to teachers and other people. Talking back rudely is disrespectful towards elders and teachers. Also, talking back to them can cause fights to happen, which I find it very bad. One time, one of my classmates talked back to my teacher, which made the teacher get really angry and make like the atmosphere of the classroom cold. From that experience, I was kind of annoyed for what that person has said, which made me kind of be annoyed for talking back rudely to other people.
Very good. I love that you used specific situation to increase your pathos as well as the logos that you presented. Sorry, I'm not able to give much feedback. 그럼 설린이 얘기한 다음에 하늘이하고 시우 얘기하고 수업을 마칠게. 그러면 설리.
Okay, my pet peeve is when somebody makes a loud noise whenever I'm studying or listening to a video. My first reason is that when I start studying, my whole family becomes very loud. However, when I do something else, they stay quiet. Since I'm a student, this happens frequently, meaning frequent annoyance. My second reason is that they can sometimes be so loud that I miss an important part of a video or forget about what I was reading about. This results in rereading or rewatching, which takes more time. This is especially annoying for me because it's hard for me to concentrate. The last point in this speech is that making loud noise just makes me not want to study it and makes me tired.
Good job. Very well put, Logos. One thing I want to really applaud is that you used ethos. You provided your status as a student to kind of back up why you would need it to be quiet in certain situations, and also use your pathos where if it's not quiet, and then like you provided certain examples in situations that many people can relate to and kind of sympathize with. So very, very good. 하늘이 발표해보자.
So my pet peeve is people judging others only by their appearance. So this annoys me because first, if people judge others by their appearance, they can mostly be wrong about them and make them look like they're selfish. And second, it can easily hurt others' feeling because it feels like you are getting ignored by others without doing anything wrong. Actually, like when people ignored me before, I thought I had done something wrong in the past, even though I really didn't. So like it makes people, like it can make people lose their self-confidence. And I saw many people, like some of them having trouble with this, and then they end up having traumas about it.
Okay, very, very good. One thing I want to point out is that she did kind of use ethos in an indirect way. So that's very, very good. You gave your reasoning and you gave your pathos by providing situations that people can relate to. And also by saying that you were in a specific situation. 아까 유겸이도 이런 거 비슷한 걸 썼던 것 같은데. By providing that you were in a certain situation, you're providing people with the understanding that you understand what you are talking about. So that kind of gives credibility in a sense. So very, very good. 그럼 시우하고 내가 까먹을 뻔했지만 혜인이 마지막으로 한 다음에 제가 설명하고 수업 마칠게. 그럼 시우 얘기해볼까?
My pet peeve is when people don't close the door, especially when it's my room's door. I also get the most frustrated when the AC is on and someone leaves the door open. First of all, I like to have a sense of privacy when I'm in my room. So if the door is open and anyone can hear me, I get a little annoyed. Lastly, the cold air getting out continually is a reason for my pet peeve. I developed this when I came to the house I'm currently living in, because this house's door doesn't close well. These are the reasons why not closing the door is my pet peeve.
Very, very good. You gave some brilliant reasons for why people not closing the door would annoy you. You also gave your kind of pathos by providing that it annoys you because you want your privacy. And you also gave really solid logos saying that you can lose AC air, which I think is important. You lose AC air if people leave the door open. That's pretty solid. Okay, 마지막으로 혜인이 발표해볼까?
My pet peeve is when someone is texting or using their phone while I'm trying to talk to them or do something with them. I especially hate it when I am trying to talk or do something with them, like watch a movie, but they're always on their phone. I hate it because I feel ignored and they aren't really paying much attention. Another reason why I hate it is because I know they can use their phone at their house, and it makes it feel like that person doesn't care and doesn't want to be here and rather do their phone. The last reason I hate it is because they can be so addicted to their phone that they delay projects or hangouts, which makes me mad.
Very good. You provided 3 logical reasons. You also provided a lot of pathos, providing a lot of specific situations in where you would be very annoyed if people were using their phone. And you also supported this by making use of emotional language. You used the word hate, which expresses a deeper level of emotion in your speech. So 그러면은 발표를 다 했으면은 마지막으로 숙제를 성현이가 한번 너네 이제 보여주고 수업을 마치는 걸로 할게.
Okay, so 잠깐만. So the homework for this week is called Argue Passionately. And for this assignment, you're going to choose a certain topic that you really feel passionate about, like 이걸 얘기하면 제일 열정적으로 얘기할 수 있다. 그렇게 느껴지는 topic. And then you're going to like make a small, like a really, really small presentation for that topic and then like argue for it in class. So you're free to choose any topic that you really want to talk about, but it really needs to be a topic that you're going to be really passionate about talking, because you'll be probably presenting this Monday if you prepare. And you can either choose a topic that's personal for you, like why you need to raise in your allowance, like, or why you need a new phone, or why school should not use uniforms. But then we can also use topics that are like way larger, like that are related to what's happening in the world. Like, for example, why people should care more about like environment and like how like marine life is being ruined, or whether college education should be free for everybody, or like why all nations should denuclearize for peace. Well, I noticed that like each one of you guys have like 뭐 pet peeves 얘기했을 때도 뭐 자기가 느끼는 게 있었던 것처럼 I believe that all of you guys have a topic that you guys feel specifically passionate about, and for this assignment, I want you guys to answer the questions in these boxes and create a presentation according to the instructions given. But then I decided not to assign this today. I'm gonna assign this tomorrow because throughout the class I've noticed that like 내가 오늘 수업 중에서 가르치면서 잘 설명하지 못한 부족한 점도 많았고, 또 이 프레젠테이션을 만들면서 있어서 내가 또 아까 본 프레젠테이션을 여기다 넣었거든, 예시로. 근데 그것만 있으면 좀 너희들이 이런 걸 만드는데 도움이 되게 좀 부족한 면도 있을 것 같아서 I decided to create more material and then refine this homework more, and then 내일 포스트하기로 했어. 그래서 이게 내일 가게 될 거고. So eventually you guys will have to prepare a presentation to present on Monday, and then I'll probably be sending out details on Katok tomorrow, and yeah. Okay. 그리고 뭐 궁금한 거 있으면 오늘 수업했던 거 뭐 모르겠거나 뭐 I need help with something, or 나중에 숙제 이렇게 숙제 내가 어사인했을 때 숙제에 대해서 어떻게 할지 좀 도움 받고 싶다, 그런 거 있으면 don't hesitate to contact me or Nine. And yeah, thank you for today.
수고 많았어 얘들아. 오늘 약간 스피킹하고 하느라 조금 there might have been, it was more a pressured kind of as you guys were listening to class, but I really hope that this will help you later on, that today's experience, because we're going to continue kind of delving into speaking. 너네가 그래도 오늘 조금 새로운 방식이었는데도 불구하고 정말 있다는 생각이 들고, 정말 수고 많았고, 오늘 speaking presentation everybody did so well, so I am very impressed. So okay, it's 8:32. Hope you guys have a good night. 수고했어. 잘 가.
Thank you.
Thank you.